Good morning, students. In the front-end design tool VB.NET lecture series, today we will discuss on data structures. In this data structures, we will discuss array, array list. So data structures in VBNet. In this, we will discuss arrays, array lists, enumeration, constants, and structures. First of all, we will start from array. An array stores a fixed size sequential collection of elements of the same type. An array is used to store a collection of data, but it is often more useful to think of an array as a collection of variables of the same type. All arrays consist of contiguous memory locations, mean to say array 0, array 1, array 2, array 3, array n minus 1. All arrays consist of contiguous memory locations. The lowest address corresponds to the first element and the highest address to the last element. So if we will start array 0, array 1 and so on, array n minus 1 if n elements are there. Now see, as we know, to represent a variable we use dim. So dim integer data 30. Now here we are providing an index element. So this integer data, this is an array of 31 elements. The last element will be n. So since we will start from 0 to 30, it will be 31 elements. Similarly, dim string data 20, so it's an string array of 21 strings. Dim two-dimensional array, if you wish to declare two-dimensional array 10, 20 as integer. So the array, it will be an integer type array, a two-dimensional array of integer. Dim ranges 10, 100, a two-dimensional array. Similarly, we can also write dim integer data as integer. Here you are, initializing, declaring array as well as you are initializing 12, 16, like this. Again, dim names as string is equals to Karthik, Sandhya, like this. So these all are string array, and at the same time you are initializing. We can also declare array as as object, dim miscellaneous data as objects. So in the object we are passing the different sort of thing like hello world, string is there, 12D, 16UI, A and C. So these things will be there. Object will be there. It will contain the object of that. Now let's see a very simple example of array. In VB.NET, when you are creating a program, so a module is there, we will start, or when you are writing a program in the IDE, integrated development environment, it will automatically make module. So module array example, here we are creating a sub procedure sub main. In the main, we are declaring the array variable dim and 10 as integer. So please note at this point that n is an array of 11 integers. In generally, we are seeing this is n 10 is the array of 10 element, but here we will see that it's an array of 11 integers. Dim ij as integer, so the two variable ij is also an integer. Now we are making a for loop for I barabar 0 to 10 and I equals to I plus 100, so it will set elements at location I to I plus 100. Next I, this is the actually syntax of for loop. We will later on we will discuss this syntax also, but here you can understand we are used for next. Next I mean to say that it will increment the value of I. For again for j equals to 0 to 10, console dot write line element 0 equals to 1 j and j. For so again next for loop is there. Here is just concentrate on this array nj mean to say it will printing the value of j, jth position and the value of array. So this is for next. Then console dot read key we are mean to say this is used for just you are pressing any key that it will end that thing. So end sub you will start in module, end submain, end sub like this we will use. Now there is another thing that is called dynamic array. Dynamic arrays are arrays that can be dimensioned and redimensioned as per the need of the program. You can declare a dynamic array using the redim statement. Suppose you wish to declare a dynamic array, then what syntax you will use? You will have to use redim. Redim. Now preserve array name, then subscript. What is this preserve? The preserve keyword helps to preserve the data in an existing array when you resize it. Okay. So array name is the name of the array. Subscript is the size of the subscript. Or you can say the subscript specifies a new dimension. Preserve the existing array. Now subscript will define the new dimension of the array. Now see this example of the dynamic array. Now here you can see module array application submain dimension marks as integer. So here marks is an array, integer array rather. Redim marks 2. Again you are defining marks as integer array. Now redim is a dynamic array. You are making redim marks 2. Now here you are assigning. See please. See here marks 2 into it is an array of 3 elements marks 0, marks 1 and marks 2. So marks 0 we are assigning some marks 85, 75, 90 like this. Redim preserve marks 10. Now again this redim preserve marks array earlier it was of size 3, now you have made size 11 marks 10. Okay, so you can assign different marks 0 1 2 now 3 4 5 6 7 8 like this. Now you can some more marks maybe in there. For I barabar 0 to 10 console dot write line I and vb tab is used for making a tab and marks I. So this is next I console dot read key and 7 and module. So it is an example of the dynamic array. You should remember two things: redim and preserve parts. Okay. Since we have used the preserve, so 0 1 2 it is preserving the word 0 1 2. Now it will start from 3. So this thing you should remember. Okay. Now, as we have seen that marks 10 or marks 2, it's a one-dimensional array. There are another array that is called multi-dimensional array. So VB.NET allows multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array are also called rectangular arrays. So you can declare a two-dimensional array of string as dim 2D string array 1020, mean to say 10 rows are there, or you can say 11 rows and 21 columns are there. On a three-dimensional array of integer, you should define three things like 10, 10, 10. So three-dimensional array 10, 10, 10 as integer, it's a three-dimensional array. Okay. This is again, it's an example of multi-dimensional array. Here we are defining dim a as integer. Okay. So it's a 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 8. Here we are declaring as well as assigning the value to this. And ij as integer, now we are making a for loop for I equals to 0 to 4, for 0, 0 to 1, console dot write line A01. We are writing this, yani this means A01, 0th row and um, one zeroth row, one column equals to 2. So actually it is in the double quote, so it will print as it is ij. Okay, ij, it will print the value of I here, j here, and aij actually what is exactly the value of this. Next j, next I, console dot read keys, n7 and module. So you can write this program on the ID, run the program, and this I will left for you. You see what will be the output. Write your output by yourself, and then you will run the program and check whether you have written that is right or not. Now, jagged arrays. There is another term, jagged array in VB.NET. A jagged array is an array whose elements are arrays. A element whose an array whose elements are also arrays is called a jagged array. So the elements of a jagged array can be of different dimensions and size. A jagged array is sometimes called an array of arrays. So the way how you will declare a jagged array, integer, two this brackets are there, then the name of the array is my jagged array, new integer, then the first square bracket we are putting the dimension, in the second we are putting the blank. So like multi-dimensional array sort of thing you can declare. Now the next thing is array list. Array list, this collection array list is, you can say, it's a dynamic array. It resizes to fit new elements. An array type offers superior performance, but the array list is sized automatically by built-in code. By built-in code, array list is dynamic. It is resized. So here you see dimension list as new array list. Okay, list one dot add one, list dot add. With the help of this add method, you can add the element in the list. Here the list as new array list is an array n7 module. Now see the example, the font is somehow small, so let's see. Dim list as new array list, so it's a array list. Okay, now list is a array list. Now we can add element list dot add 5, list dot add 7. Now this is example list and so. So it will this is receives array list as argument, and this will you will print with the help of the for loop. So the main thing you will remember that you can add in the array list, you can add, delete the elements as and where you require. Similar, this another example you can see, list as new array list. Now list is a array list. Now we can add element, list dot add, remove the string, list dot remove add one. It will remove from the second position. List dot insert 0. It will insert a string at the first position. So you can mean to say different operation you can perform on array list, like addition of elements, removing of elements, inserting of elements at a particular position. List dot remove range, you can also remove the element from a particular range. Dim str is string, with the help of the for each string is list. Console dot write line, you can print the things like this. So insertion, addition, removal, insert an element at a particular position, remove the element for a particular range, like this. So different operation you can perform array list. Now another thing that is called the enumeration. In this constant integer are also called enumerations. Enumerations are types that inherit from system.enum. These are the types which are inherited from which class? System.enum. The elements of an enumeration are expressed in words rather than numbers, which makes it convenient for understanding the meaning of the value being used. Enumeration symbolically represents a set of values of one of the primitive integral type. The type of the elements of an enumeration can be byte, short, integer, or long. If no type is specified explicitly, the default type of an enumeration is integer. Let's see the example enum month as byte. Jan equals to 2, Feb equals to 5, March equals to 10. So here we are assigning the value of, not natural, as Jan is, we are assigning 2, Feb 5, March is 10. So in the above code segment, an enumeration type month is declared. The underlying type of the element has been specified as byte. So it has three elements, January, February, and March. These three elements have been assigned a specific value like 2, 5, 10. If no values are assigned, then by default the values assigned will be 0 and so on. Now see another example of this enumeration. Here enum colors. Colors we have declared as enumeration. Red equals to 1, orange equals to 2, yellow equals to 3. Like this we have given the value and enum. So here colors will treat it as enum and here in enum. Now console.write the color red is ampersand colors dot red. So colors dot red, it will print the value of the red. Here it will print the value of the yellow, blue, green like this. Okay. Constants. Now we will see the constant. The constant refer to fixed values that the program may not alter during the execution. These fixed values are also called literals. Constant can be of any of the basic data types like an integer constant, a floating constant, a character constant, or a string literal. There are also enumeration constant as well. The constant are treated just like regular variables except that their values cannot be modified after their definition. An enumeration is a set of named integer constants. Now this is the example of here, the private constant pi value as double 3.14 as we have noticed. These values are fixed as long 4999 string is hello. So here in this it's a simple constant value. Now we'll see the structure. Structures replace user-defined types. In VB.NET, structures can be defined using structure keyword. Unlike user-defined types, structures share many features with classes. Explicit mention of access modifier for each member is necessary in VB.NET. Access modifier can be public, protected, friend, protected friend, or private. You can also use the dim statement which defaults to public access. Let us take an example of a person that will have some characteristics as name, address, telephone, age, etc. Now, if we were to use this number of times, it will be better to have a type called person. So now here we are defining a structure person. Now here we are providing the detail of like this: dim name as a string, private address as a string, dim telephone as a string, public age as integer, and structure. So it will start structure, person, and structure. This is the syntax of declaring a structure. So here you are seeing the explicit mention of the access specifier is necessary. Structures like classes can contain data members as well as data methods. Structures are value types and are hence allocated on the stack, whereas classes are references types and require heap allocation. So this is important point. You should remember that structures are value types and are hence allocated on the stack. Structures are allocated on the stack, whereas classes are reference type and require heap allocation. Structure are stored in the stack, classes are stored on the heap. Now this is an example of that structure person. So here we are, declaring public first name as a string, last name as a string, address as a string, pin code as a string, date of birth as date, time. Public sub display information is a function which will display the things. Dim msg as a string, msg equals to first name and ampersand last name as vbcrlf. Okay. Mm. So in this way, this we are, defining in the message and it will be printed. These are some of the references where from where this data have been taken, and this the next topic we will discuss, that is introduction to procedures. Thank you, and we will discuss meet in the